Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here with my 2022 NFL mock draft. Today is April 27th at 8:55 a.m. I'm supposed to be in my college classes right now, but as corny as it sounds, I'm trying to work on my dreams. I'm trying to get full-time on YouTube. So why not just start this mock draft, and we're going to start out with the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. There's been a lot of Trayvon talk with Jacksonville on the clock. Got some rhymes in here. Anyways, Trayvon talk, I think is just BS. I don't see how you can just simply pass on Aiden Hutchinson here. He is a freak. He had a better combine than Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa. I don't care if Trayvon had a really fast time. This is the obvious choice to go Aiden Hutchinson. For those guys wondering if this is a mock draft of what I should do or what I think will happen, this is what I think will happen. I'm not doing a mock draft of what I think the team should do. This is what I think will happen. I did a mock draft last year. Make sure you go check that out. Anyways, this is my second mock draft of all time, so do bear with me here. So, on the clock, Aiden Hutchinson, number one. I don't think it's even a debate. Aiden Hutchinson should be the number one pick, and I think he will be the number one pick. That's what it is. Now, at number two, the Lions. I personally think they should go Kayvon Thibodeaux, but will they do that? No, I don't think they will do that because Dan Campbell said it himself that he does not like Kayvon Thibodeaux and he thinks he will not fit well in his scheme. Therefore, I think they will go with Trayvon Walker at 2 here with all the hype that's been around him possibly going at 1. I feel like they would succumb under the hype and take Trayvon Walker at number 2. So you don't know. Maybe they could shock the world and go Sauce Gardner at 2. I don't think they would, but maybe they will. Now, the Texans. Here's an interesting thing. I would think they would immediately want to go Ikem Ekwonu here. But that's the thing. The Texans said if Aiden Hutchinson falls to 3, they are very, very likely to take Kayvon Thibodeaux at number 3. Did I say Aiden Hutchinson? I think I said Aiden Hutchinson that entire time. If Kayvon Thibodeaux falls to 3, the Texans said that they are likely to take him over Ikem Ekwonu. So I think that's what I'm going to go here. Kayvon Thibodeaux at 3, because they already said it themselves that if he falls there, they will take him. Now, Jets at 4. They already said that if Ikem Ekwonu is drafted, that Mekhi Becton might as well be traded. I mean, Mekhi Becton isn't even a bad player. I don't see why they just wouldn't throw Ikem Ekwonu into right guard or right tackle. But Jets said they would take Ikem Ekwonu if he did fall to 4. So this draft is already whack out of order. Super weird to see, but this is what I have so far. Yeah, the Jets, I could see them taking Ikem Ekwonu here for sure if he falls. Now the Giants at 5. You have Stingley on the board, Sauce Gardner, Charles Cross, Evan Neal. Now Evan Neal, there's been a lot of teams that have taken Evan Neal off their draft board because he had medical issues. So I don't think this is the pick here for the Giants. I think instead, maybe they go Sauce Gardner, Stingley's on the board. You never know here. But I am just going to take their safe choice, and I think they will take Charles Cross here at number 5. So that's what I got, and I'm liking that so far. Charles Cross at 5 here. So what do we got? Panthers at 6. Now, Panthers said they're more keen on Kenny Pickett than they are on Malik Willis. So with that being said, I think Kenny Pickett will go at number 6 to the Carolina Panthers. So they're on the hot seat here. I know Evan Neal is still available on this board, but the Panthers front office is on the hot seat. They want to keep their job. So what are they going to do? They're going to make a splash and pick a 6'3" quarterback out of Pittsburgh and Kenny Pickett. Even though I feel like Kenny Pickett is like a late first round QB at best, teams get needy for their QBs. It's a very valuable position, very valued position in general. So Giants on the clock here. You just picked Charles Cross at 5 at number 7. Who are you going to take? Stingley or Sauce Gardner is here. Evan Neal is here. But at the same time, I already gave my explanation on that. Kyle Hamilton is here. You just lost Jabril Peppers. He's on the Patriots now. I mean, Xavier McKinnon did pretty good, but Kyle Hamilton could be another big one for you. There's some other edge players here. You never know. But I think they will go Sauce Gardner just because of the amount of hype that's around him. I can easily see it happening. Falcons on the clock. You don't need defensive back necessarily, even though it does say position of need here for defensive back. I don't think that's a realistic option considering they have Casey Hayward, who was great last year. They got him on a cheaper deal too. And they have AJ Terrell, who had a huge breakout season last season. But you got Kyle Hamilton on the board. And who's your safeties right now? Richie Grant and some other guy that I can't name. I don't even know who their strong safety is. Like, it's just so irrelevant. So maybe Kyle Hamilton could be the pick here. But at the same time, you have Mariota at quarterback. Calvin Ridley suspended. I think your best option right now is a guy named Zacchaeus, I believe. I don't know for sure what his name is. But anyways, we're going to go with a wide receiver here. And I think they will go Jameson Williams over Drake London and Garrett Wilson. For that reason being, they had so much success in the past with Alabama wide receivers. Julio Jones, then you had Calvin Ridley up until now, and now Jameson Williams is here on the board for you. I could see you easily taking a receiver. It's definitely a position of need for you. So Jameson Williams to the Atlanta Falcons. I like this pick here. Next on the clock, we are going to have the Seattle Seahawks here. And the Seattle Seahawks at pick number 9. Do they take Malik Willis? Do they go Stingley here? I could see either one popping up on their board. But I think they will go Malik Willis. You can't trust Drew Lock, dude. No way you're seriously going to actually give him a chance. Maybe you could go edge here in Jermaine Johnson, but Malik Willis is here, and I think they will take him. At pick number 10 on the clock, one of the best DBs is still available, and you just took an offensive lineman. Maybe you go safety here because Marcus May did just leave your team, and you went to the Saints. You don't really have too much at free safety, I believe. Ashton Davis, not really. You could go there, but I think Stingley would be the better choice here, so I am going to take Stingley. Derek Stingley at 10 to the Jets. At number 11, Evan Neal is still on this board. You may need offensive linemen. Who knows? He's still falling just because of his medical issues. But Kyle Hamilton is here. You no longer have Landon Collins. And I think you have Cameron Curl at free safety or strong safety. Kyle Hamilton is still here, though. And maybe that could be your pick. And yeah, I think that is what I'm going to make the pick here in Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is off to the Washington football team. I mean, not Washington football team, Washington Commanders. My bad. Now, pick number 12 here. This is interesting for the Minnesota Vikings. You have an offensive tackle on the board. You need offensive line. And Evan Neal plays tackle, though. You don't necessarily need the offensive tackle position. You desperately need defensive backs. Maybe some edge here. Trent McDuffie's on the board. George is here. Evan Neal is here. This is a very tough spot. But what I think is going to end up happening is that Trent McDuffie is going to go here and Evan Neal will continue to fall. At pick number 13, we have the Texans on the clock who took edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau. And Evan Neal has fallen this far. I think they will take a stab at him and take Evan Neal here at pick number 13, and that is where he's going to go. Ravens on the clock. As a Ravens fan, I would have loved to have Evan Neal fall all the way to us at number 14. That would have been so sick to have him fall all the way to 14. But Ravens need edge here. George is on the board. You don't know, but at the same time, I feel like we probably will take Jermaine Johnson here. And Jermaine Johnson is going to go to the Ravens from Florida State. I feel there's a lot of people saying he's going to go number 9 to the Seahawks. Jermaine Johnson has a high draft board. Just the PFF, Pro Football Focus, just doesn't have them high on their board. Doesn't mean he's not a good player. So, pick number 15, Eagles on the clock. Drake London, Garrett Wilson are still on the board. You get your stab at either of the two, and I do think they are going to take Garrett Wilson here. I think he's the better of the two, even though Drake London, he's kind of cool because he has a more physical attribute, but I feel like Garrett Wilson gets more separation. Now, Saints on the clock, you need a receiver. Guess who's here? Drake London. Perfect. Drake London is off the board, back-to-back receivers. Now, Chargers on the clock. It says one of their needs is wide receiver just because if Mike Williams or Keenan Allen goes down, one of them goes down, they're really in a tough situation. But the Chargers still need some offensive line here, maybe a defensive back. They got Asante Samuel last year, who isn't horrible, but there's not really a defensive back worth taking here. But Jordan Davis has fallen this far to them. He's really far down the board. They do need an interior defensive lineman. I know they picked up Sebastian Joseph Day in free agency, but at the same time, I don't think Devontae Wyatt is over Jordan Davis. I have Jordan Davis well over Devontae Wyatt. But if he falls this far, I don't think Jordan Davis is going to get past the Chargers. Jordan Davis is going to move on to the Chargers here. Next on the clock is the Philadelphia Eagles, and they already picked a receiver. Now they need linebacker and DB. Devin Lloyd, perfect fit, as he is going to go here at number 18 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Things seem to be lining up pretty well. So one team can ruin it all for everyone. And what do we got here for the Saints? You got Cam Jordan getting old on the other side of the line. We already took a wide receiver. I don't think they're going to, even though it says they need QB, I don't think they're going to replace Jameis Winston here. So maybe they could go offensive line here, but I think they might go edge here, honestly, because it's best player available type situation. Don't need really any of these guys here. So I think they will take an edge here. They did take an edge last year. Marcus Davenport, though, does have glass bones. I don't really know. I'm kind of torn on this pick. Maybe they go Dean here and take him at 19. Maybe that would work. I don't necessarily see it happening, though. So maybe they could take another edge rusher. Yes, I know that Cam Jordan's there, but he's getting older. You drafted kind of a defensive end last year who didn't really get a lot of playing time this year. Maybe you can go with an offensive tackle, and I don't really know. I genuinely don't know what they should take here. Maybe they take a developmental offensive tackle. I could actually see this. Trevor Penning. I'm actually going to do that. I like that. So Teron Armstead has left. You need a developmental offensive tackle, and Trevor Penning. He's not a plug-and-play guy. That's what I will say. He's not a plug-and-play. It's a guy you can develop into being a long-term offensive tackle, and that's what I think Trevor Penning will provide for them, and that's what I think they will take here. At number 20, Steelers on the clock. I know Tomlin is super fond of Malik Willis. I know he loves him so much. But at the same time, he is off the clock, and I highly doubt he thinks that Mitch Trubisky is going to start, and I just don't think he will. I genuinely just don't think he will let a QB just pass on him. I think he's going to start getting needy and want a QB. Sam Howell, Desmond Ritter, Matt Carroll. I think Desmond Ritter is going to go here. I know it seems really high for Desmond Ritter. A lot of people don't have him going in the first round. But at the same time, I feel like Mike Tomlin just desperately just feels the need for a QB, even though he did sign Mitch Trubisky. I feel like he just wants one so bad. Just like kind of like how whenever he has his eyes set on a certain position, he takes it. Kind of like last year taking Najee Harris in the first round. I don't agree with taking running backs in the first round, but they did it. And Najee Harris is great, but still, I don't think it's worth wasting a first-round pick for in the first round on a running back. But next, what do we got here? We got the Patriots on the clock. They can use edge, linebacker, defensive back. Do they go Dean here, or do they take George, who's been falling so far in this draft? Do they take him? I don't necessarily know here. I would say they would probably go with the linebacker more of their need, because Matthew Judon did have a great year last year. Dante Hightower's gone, so I would go Dean here and take him for the Patriots, and that's as far as he's going to go. On the clock, edge rusher is needed for the Packers. They need a wide receiver. Chris is here, but at the same time, they also need edge because Zadarius Smith has left, and they need some offensive line. I think they're going to take edge here since he's fallen this far, and George finally, out of Purdue, goes to the Packers as he stops falling. Cardinals on the clock. You need O-line. One is here for you. Tyler is going to go to the Cardinals as he lines up perfectly. Cowboys on the clock here. Maybe you need some D-line. Devontae Wyatt has fallen this far. You need definitely some defensive tackles, and Devontae Wyatt is going to go here to the Dallas Cowboys. On the clock is the Buffalo Bills, and it says they need a receiver. They have Gabriel Davis, who actually did really good last season, along with Stephon Diggs, but you also need a running back here, and your defensive lineman just left the board right in front of your eyes. And you also need some defensive backs. And I think Andrew Booth should actually be the pick here, because if Trey White goes down, that secondary is terrible. So it is about Trey White, and I know there's Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. That's part of the secondary, but you still need your DBs, and I feel like they should definitely take a DB and prioritize that over receiver any day. Now, Titans on the clock need a wide receiver, guard, center, edge. Wide receivers are on the board, and a guard is on the board, not just a guard, a plug-and-play guard. Zion Johnson is ready to play in the NFL. I don't think he's a developmental guy. I think he's a start now. But Bernard, though, I think this is a developmental tackle. I don't think he's quite ready for the NFL to plug and play. But Chris here, I am going to take him for the Titans. There's been talks about A.J. Brown being traded, but the Titans did confirm that is their top priority to try and get him back. On the clock is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they do need apparently interior defensive line, but at the same time they have Vita Vea. I don't think they do, and they need a guard or a center because Ali Marpet did retire. I honestly felt like Ali Marpet retired just because Brady retired. He might come out of retirement, but still, they still need offensive line as of this moment, and that's why Zion Johnson is here, and he is off the board to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On the clock, once again, is the Packers. And last time they took an edge, and guess who's here? A wide receiver in Sky Moore. But at the same time, I feel like Sky Moore is not nearly as good as Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, and that's who they are going to take here. Treylon Burks is now off the board. And now Chiefs are on the board. It says top need is receiver, but at the same time, they have Nicole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Travis Kelce at tight end. So I don't really necessarily know why they would need that. But I feel like defensive back would be a bigger need of theirs. And I think I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think it's Elm is his last name. Defensive back out of Florida is where he's going to go to the Chiefs. I feel like that's way bigger of a need than receiver. And you could also pick receiver here, or you can go D-line here because where is it? Travis Jones is here. You could go D-line, but you have Chris Jones, 2 Jones on the line. That would be interesting. Is there any other receiver here that I'm forgetting about? I want to make sure. Jalen Tolbert. I think Jahan Dotson is way better than Sky Moore, just my personal opinion. Where is he? Jahan Dotson is way better, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it happen if he's this far down the board. So I think Sky Moore is what they might have to go here because he's at the top of the board. Or maybe they go safety here. I could actually see a safety pick. They just picked up a secondary pick in their defensive back, but maybe a safety is a better option because you have Daniel Sorensen, who sucks. It just sucks. He's so bad. And then you just lost Tyrann Mathieu, but you also signed Justin Reed as well. So, I'm overthinking this. Sky Moore should be the pick here, and I think they will pick a receiver. I just don't know if it will be Sky Moore itself. He was just the top of the board receiver for me. So maybe it will be Jahan Dotson. Maybe it will be someone else. At pick 31, you have the Bengals on the clock. And they already got Lael Collins, they got Alex Kappa, and I believe they already got another offensive lineman, if I'm not mistaken. And whenever Jonah Williams is healthy at the offensive tackle position, he's not horrible. So I don't think they will go offensive line here and Tyler Smith or Bernard here. I think these guys will not make the first round. So safety, they don't need. Travis Jones, that actually might be in the cards for them, but I feel like defensive back is a need. Eli Apple is not going to cut it, and Chidobe Awuzie is pretty great in the run game, and he can stop the run pretty well. He's a great tackler, but at the same time, he can't do it himself. Eli Apple is garbage. You're going to take Jalen here out of Baylor, and yeah, great pick for them, I think. Now, Lions on the clock. For those of you guys saying, oh, QB, they need to take a QB here. I don't think they will take a QB here. I think they have bigger needs to worry about. Even though Jared Goff is Jared Goff, I've seen a lot worse QBs, number one. And number two, Jared Goff is also not horrible. Not the worst that I've seen. And number three, he has a massive contract from the Rams that the Lions need to slowly pay off, then cut him. So that way they don't have a huge cap penalty. If you have a QB and draft a QB year one, then you're going to have a second string QB who's getting paid $40 million to sit on the bench. So they got to work out that cap room. They got to deal with that. They still need defensive back. They already took edge at pick number 1. You could take a QB here, but I think they'll take Daxton Hill here out of Michigan. 2 Michigan guys reuniting on the same team. Actually, not reuniting. It's not the Lions. My bad. It's Aiden Hutchinson went to the Jaguars. I completely forgot that in my own draft. Let's space this out a little bit on my computer. This is my first time ever recording on my computer, by the way. Completely forgot to mention that. Sorry about the audio, but this is what I have overall. Some things that I could adjust if I wanted to try again. Maybe actually, I like Evan Neal falling that far. I'd probably say George, though, out of Purdue, would have to maybe not go to the Packers. Maybe he goes a little bit earlier to the Eagles, I could see. But Devin Lloyd was there. So it's just about what's available on the board. This is what I have for my draft, and I'm actually very, very happy with what I had here, and I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. Let me know down in the comments below what you would change, but this is what I have, and this is what I feel definitely confident about. And let me know if there is anything to change. Maybe I'll do another mock draft right before the draft starts tomorrow. But honestly, this is my most favorite draft that I've ever done. A lot of chaos happening in the top five, really. And overall, again, I love it. Tell me down in the comments below what you think. And yeah, apart from that, guys, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next.